I wonder, like, do you know when you record a hit, especially when you're an unknown nobody? Because I know I did. It was it was fucking good. I'm really excited to see how this all works out.
Man, this is just like riding a bicycle. Like the surgeon making a hip-hop beat. I just can't complete the circuit. No matter how hard I work it, my loss ratio's perfect. Like
Oh,
Turk shit, it's hard to
what
see.
a fucking crazy bunch of shit, man.
Always awaiting God's making a shaky foundation.
The
Plagued by the pace when I yearn to go fast, my glass is alive, half full or empty. Temptation tempts me, temporarily tempting my tempestuous nature. My sailors sail towards less turbulent waters, long before daughters fall for my attention. I spent the rest and all of the
I keep trying to think of other things to talk about. But every day, more and more of it gets exposed. More and more of it gets is what the fuck, and you just it puts the whole pieces together. Rain yesterday? Doesn't seem like it. It must have been the yeah. Okay.
Is this thing on? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the circus. Everything you see and hear. He who writes the narrative is he who rules the world.
Right
That was clever.
down.
Write that down. The truth is, it's imperative that the wearer of the crown is
You know, I
preparing
just
their sound
there's
like
only one
something
thing to focus on. There really is. And until we focus on that one thing, we're being distracted. And that's the thing I keep, you know, I keep going back to. I want to talk about other things. I want to talk about Tartaria. I want to talk about all that shit. But it just seems pointless. I can't, you know, whatever I end up talking about is information that I'm given. In the what's up, Algo? You're really upset about this whole Kirk thing, aren't you? White guy gets killed and you're like, oh my god, the world needs to stop. Could have used you here yesterday, Algo. This is the same fight it always is, man. We have to be able to see what we're being shown. I mean, the not even a little too many 33s. I haven't seen the 33 connection on that one yet. I still think his shirt is the biggest tell. What the fuck is going on with his shirt? What is the thing that's under the right side of his shirt that comes down? There's a black dot on his shirt, and it moves to where the bullet hole is supposed to be. And then, like, what is that? If you haven't seen that video yet, you find it. Find it, because It's pretty shocking. It's clearly something. Something. Augo, you're gonna love the newest song. I recorded it last night. I just got to get Charles to do it now because Charles has been mad at me. No, this is not the new one. We have so many songs and so many yet to record. So many songs, yet so little time.
What we have here is failure to.
All of our shit's really good, but thank you.
I know, I'm crazy. I feel because
You could try to hate all you want. I'm right. I'm right, and I'm good at what I do. It's got to be difficult, especially for those paid to be here. You know, like how do you're punching up. You're better looking than we are. You're smarter than us. You know.
Among the Kents, but it's a super manifesto. The sheep refuse to let go, and selling them a mess hole. They'll challenge the best, so
But go back to Charlie Kirk, because that's what we're supposed to be talking about. Even though there was tons of shit that came out. You know, the Epstein book came out. I don't care what you are. You've already proven yourself. Did you guys see the birthday book that came out?
Verse 2. What should I do? Should I puncture the structure and continue to prove how I am the dude whose truth is the answer? Removing excuses I should damning the cancer that has your salvation. Clutching their hand for their planned domination. Removing the chancellors, branded the safe men. Exposing the handlers, demand for their place in.
I mean, just look at my feed. What the hell happened to my feed? And since Charlie, since the day before Charlie or whatever. Ouch. Do you have a favorite not real thing? I wish we could figure it out, man. I mean, to me, my biggest issue is trying to break through the willful ignorance. The people who don't seem to want to know the truth. They want to believe in the religious slavery. They want to believe in the narrative that's given to them, despite what's shown to them. And it's not like it matters. You stop believing in God and stop being a good Christian slave. How is your life going to change for the negative? I guess you're going to have to deal with your parents or your family who should accept you for who you are. And if anything, try to maybe engage you in it or understand where you're coming from. But they never seem to want to. Right? I mean, it's so funny to me, like with my family. My family was allowed to push religious shit on us all the time. And I wasn't supposed to say anything back. Like you always see this with religious people, right? Religious people will have signs that say, especially Christians will have signs that say, protect our religious freedom. But that's only protecting Christian religious freedom. It doesn't mean everybody's religious freedom. And a great example is my old neighbor, right? She used to, like, my wife will act like, she was so noble. She was just, noble when she would come over and she would try to convince us that, you know, that we're living the wrong way and that we should be praying and Jesus and all that. And it's like, don't you understand? She's literally sitting in judgment of you. She's saying that your life isn't as good enough. So here, you need this to make your life better because your life isn't good enough. And I don't even mind it as much, other than well, if she's going to speak openly and freely, so can I, right? You know, it should be an open discourse, back and forth. And it's not like I'm ever like, you're just a dumb piece of shit because you believe in this and you're a horrible human being. And no, it's never like that. It's you've been duped. And I want you to have a better existence. I want all of us to have a better existence. And I promise you, if you're not constantly beating yourself up because you think that you're not living up to some impossible standard that God puts on you, right? And I love this song. Thinking that you sinned, you're full of sin, you're this, that. You gotta sit, you gotta pray, you gotta ask for forgiveness. It's like it's bullshit, man. The main problem, unless you're saying Christianity in general, the main problem, there's a plethora of them. It's the mentality that's put on people. Not just the belief in the stupidity, but the mentality that comes along with it. The arrogant / insecure / ignorant mentality. Like imagine somebody comes to your house and they're like, hey, I want to sell you a new roof. It's going to be really expensive. It's going to put you out. You're not going to have a roof on your house and, it's going to be a rough couple days and yada, yada, yada. And you're going, well, why should I? Is there a reason why I should do it? And they go, how dare you? How dare you ask that question? I'm telling you that you need a new roof. That's all you need to know. And it's like I'm sorry, I require more than that. I require more than you guys just telling me shit that you obviously don't believe or live by. Our whole system is so fucked up. Morning, Matt. Look at these numbers. 14 minutes in and I got four watchers and 1 like. That's probably you. Yeah. The feed has been since the day before or maybe 2 days before the Charlie thing. I mean, it's just so wild, man. It's just so wild. At the end of the day, like I always say, like, what are you even here for? The negative people, what are you even here for? Do you really disagree that we should kill pedos? Do you really think that the Jews should control our lives and that we're just slaves? You're really cool with that? Do you really think like everything just works the best way it can and there's no need for adjustments and that somebody back in some other time had it right? Like if anybody had it right so far, it would be normal. You know, if any of the previous or current belief structures were actually good, there wouldn't be a question. And then it takes. Oh, I wouldn't necessarily fall for that there, Matt. That's Urkel. His whole perspective has changed in the last day or two, but this was one of the worst ones. So, unless we can address what's changed, I mean, I don't even care. I just, I'm protective. So, oh shit, is Algo still here? Algo, are you still here? I just took care of for 3 of your family members at our hospital. Oh, did you? Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine needing to lie in order to get, like, to feel like you could say something? It's strange. Oh, so did you see? You haven't seen who's been back the last couple days? Bitch Beard made his triumphant return. That was why I wanted. I was wishing you were here. I couldn't remember what it was, but if anybody's familiar with Bitch Beard, it's you. He's back here talking about, Jesus and all this shit. As always, never denying being a pedo. Tell you the lore. It's nothing to tell. In 20, so I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I was going live before you could go live. I would make videos, 5, 10, 15-minute videos, and then upload them. Back then, a lot of it was about chemtrails. He's the one-legged Bowman, right, with the rainbow beard so the kids will play with him. That piece of shit. And he would, and so I had a really meteoric rise back when I first sort of gave it my all. And I decided that I was going to do this right after I got hurt. And I decided this was going to be something I do until I get hurt or until I'm better. But let's see what we can do until then. And considering, like I would make mostly chemtrail videos back then, but also talking about religion and stuff like that. But I hadn't accepted the idea that it was the Jews and that I'm allowed to talk about them. I still was under the programming that they are somehow off limits. And so when I finally made that switch and said, you know what? Because over the years I noticed that, like, I would be a part of, like, chemtrail groups and whatnot, and it was always cool as long as I was posting pictures. As soon as I started asking the question, like, well, who is actually doing this? It sort of seems like it's Israeli. Then I would get, I'd get attacked, or I would get, admonished by the group leaders or whatever. And I wish there was record of it. None of it exists anymore because the page was destroyed. But if you could see literally how I went from a normal, couple of hundred friends, 30, 40 following, to the full friend count, 5,000 and 2,000 some following. And, this was all in like a year. Clearly, whatever I do is appealing. That it factor shit, right? And so I decided in January of 2020 that I was going to change my focus. That instead of being distracted by all of the other things all the time, instead of focusing on tentacles, I was going to focus on the head of the monster. It is, sort of a joke, just because of the timing of it. It was my New Year's resolution. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but I sort of made it out like that was the sort of joke. It just happened to coincide with my mind was changing. Now, if you could remember what January of 2020 was like, we're talking about Epstein has been killed. The Prince Andrew thing has happened. I mean, 2019 was a fucking crazy year. We've just sort of forgotten about it. The whole Michael Jackson thing, the whole measles thing, they tried to tell us there was a measles epidemic that we needed to get vaccinated against. We were under very severe attack in 2019. Not to mention, the world was resisting. There were protests all over the place. The Yellow Vest movement. You guys remember the Yellow Vest movement was everywhere in Europe. Australians were protesting, South America were protesting, Chinese were protesting. Everyone was protesting, and they were protesting against the system. It wasn't like any specific thing. It was just the system as a whole. And so in 2020, the rumblings of COVID are starting. The is in full swing. The campaign bullshit, Buttigieg and Bloomberg and Senator Warren and just all these people, Bernie, everybody's still in the race. And so when I said, I am done talking about chemtrails every day, I'm done talking about all these little fringe groups and New World Orders and I never really was a New World Order, Illuminati kind of guy. But I said, look, at the time it was we needed to cut off Israel for $3.8 billion a year. I didn't have any idea that it was actually a lot more than that. 4 watchers, 3 likes. Totally makes sense, doesn't it? And so I made the declaration, I am done being distracted. I'm going to focus, almost solely on Israel and how we can cut them off so we can use that money to create pedophile hunter groups, official government pedophile hunter groups, and eliminate this pedophile situation. It's very specific, Cut off Israel, use the money for pedophiles. And as soon as that happened, there was a drastic difference in my page. There's been a couple of times when the page I've noticed a difference in the way the mechanics work, the way the system works, the way the Facebook works or whatever it was. And so when I said this, when I made this declaration, it was really strange how the response just sort of blew up on me. And Bitchbeard came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, this guy who has a much bigger following than me, a much bigger feed than I am, or than I do, starts camping out in my feed talking shit. And almost immediately, he's, you're this and that, but he's getting the yours wrong. And so, obviously, I pointed out, because if you're going to call me stupid, you better get it spelled right. And you could tell it really bugged him, because, he has this arrogant personality that he's so smart and he's so good. And here I am catching him up on the basics. This switch happened over the I've and even Algo, guys like Algo were telling me, I need to stop focusing on this thing. Go back to talking about chemtrails. Go back to talking about this. It's the CFR. It's the WHO. It's it's whoever else you want it to be. And I was the one that stood strong and said, no. I know I'm not supposed to talk about this. I know this isn't the popular thing. But there's enough people talking about all the rest of it. There's way more than enough people talking about chemtrails. If you really want to talk about chemtrails, go watch Matt Landman. As much as I don't necessarily trust that dude, when it comes to chemtrails, he's extremely informed. Really, go with this. You're wrong. Always the goal is to prove myself wrong. You know, the narrative we're supposed to look at. I know that I was guilty of like when it came to the Earth shape argument. I was guilty of not watching the arguments being presented because I didn't want to be. I didn't want Earth to not be round. I wanted to believe in space travel and I thought it was cool and I learned all about it. Oh, let me get closer to the internet. Okay. You've never seen me pushing Alex Jones said. Well, this truth or well that still lagging horribly. What do you think it is? The only time we lose is from 9 to 76 when we had all this amazing technology we no longer have. In the last couple of years, we're really arguing about this shit with other ignorant people, or for the most part, it's all just going to be. Because I don't know, I'm not sure why, but it makes them mad. And it's been just such an interesting way to watch all this play out and see what opposition comes my way. At the end of the day, there's a freedom, but it's also disheartening because it means you've wasted a whole shit ton of time. You've wasted a bunch of time learning. It matters, right? If the system doesn't want people to know about it, they won't. You're talking about Israel. Of course they are. Not just Israel, though. It is the Israel. You can't go someplace and you can see it over the horizon. It's like shit that aren't, yes. But Israel doesn't exist. It's not a person. It doesn't have a perspective or a thought process. Pedophile stuff. Go check out the links in the description.